The moment I opened that door, my entire world fell apart. But what I did next was something no one expected. It was supposed to be an ordinary evening. After 11 years of marriage, I knew every sound in that house. Every room, every routine, every habit of my wife, Emily. She was my whole world, or at least I believed she was. I still remember smiling as I unlocked the front door, holding a small gift I had picked up on my way home from work. It was just a simple necklace, nothing expensive, but it meant something. I wanted to surprise her. I wanted to remind her that even after all these years, I still loved and appreciated her. But the second I stepped inside, something felt wrong. The house was quiet, too quiet. Then I heard it, a soft sound coming from upstairs, a laugh. Not just any laugh, Emily's laugh. But there was something different about it. It wasn't the laugh she used to share with me. My heart began to race. Slowly, I made my way upstairs. Every step felt heavier than the one before. My thoughts were spinning, but deep inside, I already knew something wasn't right. Then I reached the door to our bedroom. It was slightly open. I pushed it wider. And in that single moment, everything I believed in came crashing down. There she was, my wife, the woman I had loved, trusted, and built a life with for 11 years. She was in bed with another man. I froze. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't move. I couldn't even think. It felt as if time had stopped, yet at the same time, my chest felt like it was about to burst. Emily turned and saw me standing there. The color drained from her face. "Wait," she said, jumping up and trying to cover herself. But I didn't say a word. Not one. I just stood there and stared. The other man rushed to grab his clothes, refusing to look me in the eye. He knew. He knew exactly what he had been a part of. "It's not what it looks like," Emily said, her voice trembling. Funny how that's always the first thing people say. I slowly placed the gift on the floor. That necklace meant nothing now. Then I turned around and walked away. No yelling, no fighting, no scene. That's what she expected, but I had something completely different in mind. That night, I didn't sleep. I didn't cry either. Something inside me had gone numb. The man who loved her was gone. In his place stood someone colder, someone more patient, someone prepared. The next morning, I acted completely normal. I even made breakfast. Emily sat across from me, nervous and quiet, studying my face for any sign of what I was thinking. "Aren't you going to say anything?" she finally asked. I looked at her and smiled. "No," I replied calmly. "Not yet." The confusion on her face was exactly what I wanted. Over the next few weeks, I played my part perfectly. The same husband, the same routine. I even told her I forgave her. But behind the scenes, I was preparing everything. You see, Emily hadn't just cheated. She had been careless. I found messages, photos, proof, not from a single mistake, but from months of deception. And the man, he wasn't a stranger. He was her boss. That's when my real plan began. I collected everything. Screenshots, emails, call records. I even hired a private investigator to make sure every detail was backed by evidence. If I was going to expose their lies, I wanted it done cleanly, carefully, and in a way they would never forget. A few weeks later, Emily told me something that nearly made me laugh. "My company is hosting a big event," she said. "Partners, executives, everyone important will be there. You should come." Perfect. That evening, she wore a beautiful red dress. The same woman who had betrayed me stood beside me, smiling as if nothing had ever happened. We arrived at the venue together. The room was filled with lights, music, and conversation. And there he was, her boss, standing confidently across the room as though he had nothing to worry about. I walked over and shook his hand. "Nice to finally meet you," I said. He smiled. If only he knew what was coming. Later that night, just as the main presentation began, I made my move. I stepped onto the stage and picked up the microphone. Every eye in the room turned toward me. Emily's smile disappeared instantly. "What are you doing?" she whispered. I glanced at her, then at the crowd. Then I spoke. "I'd like to share a story," I began, "about loyalty, trust, and what happens when both are broken." The room fell silent. Then, with a single click, the screen behind me came to life. Messages, photos, evidence, everything. Gasps echoed throughout the room. Her boss's face turned pale. Emily looked like she could barely stand. I didn't shout. I didn't insult anyone. I simply let the truth speak for itself. Because sometimes the strongest revenge isn't rage, it's exposure. I placed the microphone back on the stand, looked at her one final time, and quietly said, 11 years, and this is who you chose to become." Then I walked away. This time, forever. Before you leave, if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps me continue creating more powerful, emotional, and compelling real-life stories like this one. Make sure to turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new upload. And let me know in the comments, what would you have done in this situation? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next story.